Okay guys, how you going? We're back for market update on Zuccoli Aspire. Probably the most exciting little bit of real estate that's happening around the Northern Territory at the moment, and I've got with me the two gentlemen that are looking after the sales out there. You've met before Mark McClelland, who is our
good morning, Glenn.
Development Marketing Manager, and they're very enthusiastic, which is a good thing. And over on the far right hand side, you haven't met him before, but we have spoken about him, Adam McCann, who is the, what's your title?
Land Development Manager, I believe.
Land Development Manager? No, I think it's something different than that. The Land Development Sales Manager? Or something along those lines.
Land Development Sales Manager, the face of Zuccoli Aspire.
The face of Zuccoli Aspire, and also some exciting stuff that's coming off the back of Zuccoli Aspire, which we'll talk about in a second as well. However, we spoke to you about the initial release, which was 2 weekends ago now, and that was stage 1A in Zuccoli Aspire. Starting from $116,000, or obviously starting from $101,000 in regard to if you qualified for the home buyer initiative. Mark, first up,
yes.
How did our release go?
Sensational. Look, it was just a very exciting process where, you know, from the initial release that went out to a huge database, the response was overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And we basically managed to sell 90% of it within the first week.
Well, I think, and the other thing, Mac, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just running in my new tongue. We had first day on the Saturday, commitment to all of those blocks.
Essentially, yeah, we've got 5 or 6 blocks still available. They are the 700 to 800 square metre blocks and a 938 square metre block still available. I think a lot of the builders which we've been dealing with haven't been marketing those size blocks to their clients. So I haven't had a chance yet to get back out to the database to say the bigger ones are available. However, that's a good point. We're going to come back to that with the 700-800 square metre blocks, because I want to talk about that. There's been a lot of talk about the size, or the starting size of the blocks out there in Zuccoli at 330 square metres, and I just want to talk about that later on. Just to, from there, first weekend, the Saturday, we had commitment to 90% of those, went back to the developer, spoke to him about stage 1B, and stage 1B was subsequently released the next Thursday.
The following week, yes.
Yeah, okay, and that constituted how many blocks?
That was 120. 120
blocks, yeah. Currently, I was talking to you this morning, Macca.
Yep.
How many have we got left in stage 1B that aren't committed to at this point in time?
Roughly 10. Only 10. However,
Yep.
we do have the home buyer initiative blocks still available as well, which obviously
because we can't contract on them until titles come out.
Correct.
But there are people committing to those as well,
yes,
aren't there?
There is.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we're currently released about 180 blocks. Of the 180 blocks, there are MDMR sites, which constituted half a dozen of those. There's some DHA in there, and there's some home buyer initiative. But we'd say we're probably about 90% done in a week and a half, and just pending writing the contracts.
Yeah, that's right. I've just got not enough time in the day at the moment to write, because every contract takes an hour, because you can't push through it, because people want to know
what's
they're
going
signing.
on. Yeah.
And it's a big decision. It's people's dreams coming true, so we can't rush the process. So any questions need to be answered along the way, and if I can't answer the question, obviously I'll go to Mark or yourself. So.
Probably, I mean, for you guys out there who watched the last release in regard to Zuccoli Aspire, or the last vlog that we did, I indicated that I was expecting this sort of response, and we've certainly experienced that. It shows that there are a lot of people in the Darwin market that previously couldn't purchase, that were unable to get into the marketplace, I suppose, using first home owner grants, and also not being able to step up to that $500,000 commitment. I know, talking to some of the builders that we've got associations with, they're advertising home and land packages for $450 and under. Yeah.
Yes, very
and
much so.
And we know we're dealing with one company at the moment who are talking about first homeowners actually not having to take any money out of their pocket until they pick up the keys. Now, that's very exciting stuff. If you want to know more about that, obviously Adam will be able to help you out or send you in the right direction. One thing I just want to talk about there, 330 square metres. We copped some flack in the newspaper for the size of those blocks at 330 square metres. I remember one comment, particularly there was a gentleman who was concerned about the fact that his current shed wouldn't fit on 330 square metres. One of the things about that, it's very nice to have enough space on a block to put a 330 square metre shed, but that probably constitutes that what you have to have is you have to have a 1,500 square metre block. In Darwin, just so that you know, to get a 1,500 square metre block or an acreage block, you're probably talking the best part of $500,000. Not everybody has that amount of money to spend. And the message that I wanted to get across in that regard, I think the developers in this situation have to be commended rather than ostracised for delivering options to people. A lot of the people that you're seeing, Mac, are first homeowners.
Oh, they are. Yep.
And very excited about being able to get a foothold in the market.
Oh, I've had people cry, I've hugged me. It's fantastic. You're realising people's dreams.
Yeah, previously they couldn't get into the market, could they?
No.
And I think the developer in this instance needs to be commended for giving them an option.
Absolutely.
There was no previously, Mark, in town for 450,000, let's say. What could somebody purchase in town brand new?
Nothing.
Nothing at
Nothing.
all.
There's nothing there at brand new, 450,000.
So they couldn't qualify for the first homeowner grant. They couldn't qualify for any of those things and go into something brand new. So the only other options that were open to them were potentially spending 300,000 to 400,000 on a property. What would that buy you in residential real estate up here?
Again, nothing.
Maybe a one bedroom in
Nightcliff. You're going to get a 1 bedroom.
If you've got the deposit.
Yes, if you've got your 10% deposit and everything else.
So maybe you might buy a 1 bedroom unit in Nightcliff. How many squares is that?
You're looking at around about 60 squares.
Okay, so the difference now, as much as we can poo-poo the whole 330 square metre blocks, is that they're getting 330 square metre block, 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom houses. A lot of them are building on 4 bedroom, 2 bathroom, up and downs and different things along those orientations.
Well, what you've got to remember as well is they're the ones that have sold out first.
Yeah.
We've got these bigger blocks, which I've actually had clients say to me, can't you split them in half so I can buy one of these 330s out of the 700s, because I've got clients ready to go, from the builders of course, that want this size block.
So that would indicate that rather than being something that the community doesn't want, it's something the community does want.
What they want.
They're calling for it.
Yep.
180 blocks and they're pretty much all gone.
Yeah.
That would indicate that we've got a pretty good product here.
Absolutely.
And that's what I'm saying. I think the developers, Costajig, need to be commended for that rather than ostracised.
And what you've got to remember as well is having a big yard is great if that's what you want, but this day and age, people don't want to spend a day of their weekend cleaning up a yard. If they can have their home on their block with a big patio area at the back to sit down on their back table under the fans, that's it. That's what they want to do.
So now, I mean, obviously we're preaching to the converted a little bit out there, because we got 180 blocks that we've sold most of those, or got commitments to most of those, and we expect to be signing them up, and there's no reason why it won't be over the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
We'd say they'll probably all be signed
Yeah,
up.
it's going to take me probably 3 weeks to convert everything.
You're only one man, Macca. You're only one man. So 3 weeks. 3 weeks he's going to have all of those signed up. What does that mean for you guys out there who are looking for a block? Does that mean that's it, Mark, done?
No, we are currently working on the next stage.
Okay, stage 2 in Zuccoli Aspire.
Stage 2 in Zuccoli Aspire. Correct.
Now, also, all up, there's around about 900 blocks in this Zuccoli Aspire development.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus.
Over a period of 4 to 6 years, depending upon how quick the take-up is and how quickly Costajig can get it done. Off the back of that, Costajig have obviously secured stage 5 out in Zuccoli.
Absolutely.
I'm calling it Zuccoli Encore. It's an early call, but we'll go for that.
With a full circle.
Yeah, with a full circle. Now that's another 400 odd blocks.
440.
Same sort of pricing in the submission.
Very similar.
Slightly larger on average blocks, I think they are.
Still, it's giving that 300 to the 450 range. The concentration. Yes.
Okay. And when's that Zuccoli Encore or 5? When's that likely to?
That's in the developer's mind now.
Okay.
And that could well be stage 2.
Okay.
Because it basically connects to stage 1.
So it could come off the back of Zuccoli Aspire 1A and 1B.
That's correct. Yeah.
It's pretty exciting times. There's a lot of land there, and there's a lot of speculation about whether there's too much land and all that sort of gear. However, it would indicate from our sales that there's certainly not too much land that we're supplying at this value.
Look, I've got a lot of people that want those small blocks that have said to me, can you put me on the hold register for the next release, because I really can't afford anything bigger.
Yep.
And I've got the designs of my 3 or 4 bedroom house that I want to put on a 370 square metre block.
Fabulous. Okay, good.
And they may not have their 10% deposit at the moment, but in another 3 months' time,
they will.
That's giving them their saving base to put that 10% deposit down. So that's going to suit a lot of people.
Well, I know there's 2 or 3 people actually on our staff
Correct.
who fit that parameter.
Absolutely
They're
correct.
now looking and saying this is a very real option. Previously, I don't think we could have got into the marketplace, but hey, if we start to save now, we might actually, well, one in particular I know, Dan and Sal, you know, they're looking and saying, well, hell, you know, we didn't think we would be able to do this before we got married in 2017, but heck, now it's realistic.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And we could possibly get into a property in Darwin.
Yeah.
Exciting times. Anything to add, Macca?
No, it's just, look, I want to thank you guys for the opportunity. It's been an amazing response, and it's realistically, I come to work in the morning and I create people's dreams.
He got very excited about that the first day when a lady jumped up, or a young girl jumped up and gave him a hug and was crying.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed
this
with
is
that.
this is some of the great stuff that you get in real estate.
Yeah.
We don't always, you know, steal your ring, mind you. If I shake your hand, make sure that you check to make sure that they're all still there. Mark, anything from you?
Just one other thing too, with stage 1A, one of the exciting things that came out of that first release is the builder commitment. We will now have 22 display homes.
Yes, of course. Display
And
village.
they will be sitting there. I mean, these will be titled, we're estimating around about October.
Mhm.
The builders will start building, and within 4 to 6 months, we will have 22 display homes where people can not only visualise where their block is, but visualise what home they're going to put on.
22 homes. I don't think that's ever been done before in Darwin.
Yeah, I've checked back. I can't put my hand on my heart on it, but I think we're the largest that's ever happened.
22 display homes in one area.
Yeah, and it's
good way to
it's
go.
down one street, so all you need to do is you'll be able to cross over. We'll have a sales office there. There'll be parking. The whole thing is being designed as
Don't drive down there this weekend looking
No,
for it. It's
whatever,
not there
it's not
yet.
there.
It's probably 6 months away. All right, so
Absolutely.
we actually have to get the land first and then build it, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a great week. Thanks, boys.
Thank
Take
you.
care.